Okay, so finally here I am recording for my new podcast, and I have been trying to record this from a long time, and here I am finally doing it. Ever since podcast started growing in India, I had an urge to start my own, and here I am finally doing this. And so today I'm officially launching TheAyniroShow. It's my first podcast. Let me tell you about myself. My name is Ayush and I named my channel as TheAyniroShow because see, the Ayniro has meaning of its own. Okay, let me disclose it once and for all. What does Ayniro mean? Ayniro means it's just smashing down my full name. My full name is Ayush Nitin Rodge. AY comes from Ayush and I comes from my father's name Nitin. Aro comes from my surname, that's Rodge. And yeah, that's my introduction. Okay, that might start a new trend of smashing down your full names, and I'll be very happy if that starts from this video. So without wasting any further time, let me tell you guys about this podcast and why I wanted to start. See, in normal videos, you are kind of restricted to stay on topic. You have to deliver a properly curated content. My podcast will be properly curated too. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna mess things up. Just saying, in normal videos, you have to curate the entire video and you have limited time period because you have to look for it, audience retention and many other stuff. And I know that shouldn't be a reason to start a podcast, but I feel in podcast you can stretch a topic till its full extent and you can deliver almost maximum information out there. I feel podcasts are more like a casual talk, and in casual talk you are casually talking, and the casual talk is more easy to understand to people, and that's what this podcast is all about. Casual talks, 100% interesting and superb. So what's the Ayniro Show is all about? In this podcast I'll be covering wide spectrum of topics such as tech, movies and sports. In tech, I'm going to talk about new phones, new laptops, new smartwatches, and my opinions on them, which one to buy at which price, and I'll just make everything easy for you. You'll be purchasing right things with my suggestions. I'll help you decide what's best for you, which tech, which devices is best for you. Another thing we are gonna talk about is movies, and mainly I'm gonna focus about Marvel and stuff, cause I have been a Marvel enthusiast ever since I was like 7 or 8. We're breaking down Marvel movies. I'll be covering a wide range of crazy theories about Marvel and its upcoming movies. The most interesting thing I have to tell you guys, I'll be creating my own storylines. I'm passionate about writing and making creative storylines is what I love. So I'll be trying to share my own crazy Marvel storylines that I wrote myself. The third thing I'm gonna do is related to previous one. As I told you, I'm passionate about creating storylines. So I'll be creating original storylines too. Sometime you'll get a tech podcast, sometime you'll get a Marvel podcast, and sometimes if I don't have anything, I'll be doing the story narrations which I wrote myself. The stories which I wrote myself, I'll be narrating that as a podcast. So this mic has a great story. It's not an expensive one. It was like for 3,000 and I got it by a fluke. A random guy kept a story on Instagram about this mic's price cutting down to 900 rupees in a Flipkart sale. So I was able to get this, and this is helping me a lot. This is a great mic. So with the help of each other, if we could grow, if we could scale up this podcast somehow, we will be having guests. I am hopeful that someday, sometime, somehow, I'll be able to have guests on this podcast too. So hopeful for that. Finally, I am launching my own podcast, The Ayniro Show, and if you are interested in all those things I just mentioned, so please hit that red red subscribe button. Yeah, hit that white subscribe button, hit that bell icon, hit that like button, and I'll see you in my first podcast, which is dropping soon.